Have you heard of a place so old it scrolls back the history of humanity by thousands of years? Welcome to Göbekli Tepe, a site so ancient and so strange that archaeologists now call it the zero point of monumental architecture. Built around 9,600 BCE, that's 11,600 years ago, long before the pyramids, before the wheel, before pottery. This place challenges everything we thought we knew about when civilization began. Today we're diving deep into this ancient site, exploring what it was, who made it, and why it might change history forever. Göbekli Tepe sits on a ridge in southeastern Turkey near the modern city of Şanlıurfa. The name literally means pot-belly hill. The site contains massive circular and oval enclosures, defined by enormous T-shaped limestone pillars. Some of these pillars are over 5.5 meters tall, roughly the height of a two-story building, and weigh as much as 20 to 50 tons each. Many of the pillars are carved with reliefs, animals like foxes, lions, snakes, birds, scorpions, and abstract symbols that no one has fully decoded yet. Archaeologists date the earliest layers to about 9,600 BCE, roughly 11,500 years ago, making this by far the oldest known monumental stone architecture in the world, predating Stonehenge by some 6,000 years. Until Göbekli Tepe was properly studied, the accepted theory was that large-scale architecture emerged only after humans settled down, invented farming, stored surplus food, and only then had leisure, social hierarchy, religion, and monuments. But Göbekli Tepe flips that timeline on its head. The people who built it were apparently hunter-gatherers, not farmers. Archaeologists found no signs of domesticated plants or animals, no pottery, no wheels, no villages. Despite that, they managed to organize, harvest stone, shape massive pillars, transport them uphill, carve them, and erect them in precise circles, all without modern tools. It suggests that religion or communal ritual may have driven the development of complex social organization, not agriculture. If true, Göbekli Tepe is more than a temple. It's evidence that civilization's roots lie in spirituality, cooperation, and shared belief, long before pottery or cities. Let's visualize what they built. Imagine many circular rooms, each defined by a ring of massive T-shaped pillars. Some circles are as wide as 10 to 30 meters. In the center of each, this ring stands a pair of larger pillars facing each other. Around them, smooth stone floors, low benches carved directly from bedrock, and sometimes smaller interior walls. Researchers argue the construction was guided by geometry and careful planning. A recent study found that the layout aligns with geometric patterns, implying mathematical and surveying knowledge. They quarried local limestone outcrops, carved pillars on site, probably using flint tools, and transported them maybe a few hundred meters to the ridgetop, then raised them. Some researchers propose they may have used simple ramps or levers. We know so far that at least 20 large enclosures, stone circles, have been identified through geophysical surveys. Only a fraction have been excavated so far. Every pillar, every relief, every carved symbol speaks of effort, organization, and human will. Building something monumental when no civilization as we know had arisen yet. Since there's no evidence of ordinary domestic life, no hearths, no pottery, no trash pits, most scholars believe Göbekli Tepe was not a village. Instead, it appears to have been a ritual or ceremonial complex. Archaeologists found bones of wild animals, gazelle remains for example, suggesting large communal hunts or feasts. The carved animals and symbols likely carried spiritual or symbolic meanings. Some researchers even propose the enclosures had astronomical significance, aligning stones with celestial objects, tracking seasons or mythical events. If true, Göbekli Tepe might represent humanity's first known temple, not just a building, but a gathering center for belief, ritual, myth, a place that helped shape the idea of religion and community itself. After centuries of use, Göbekli Tepe was intentionally buried. The burial wasn't random. Its monuments were filled with soil, enclosures decommissioned, and stone circles covered. Then, new circles were erected nearby, repeating the cycle. Why bury such a monumental site? The answer remains unclear. Some hypotheses, a radical shift in beliefs, climatic changes, resource stress, or social upheaval. Whatever the cause, the builders seemed to decide the site had done its job. Then they stopped using it and effectively hid it. This is what preserved it. Because after burial, no continuous settlement reclaimed the site, no agriculture disturbed the structures, until modern archaeologists rediscovered it thousands of years later. Göbekli Tepe shows that complex social organization, religious life, and monumental architecture existed long before agriculture and permanent settlements. That shakes the foundations of how we understood the rise of civilization. If hunter-gatherers could build something this ambitious, maybe the origin of civilization wasn't about food surplus, but about shared beliefs and cooperation. Also, it means there may be many more lost chapters in human history. Dozens of other sites in southeastern Turkey are now being excavated, some with similar T-pillars and megalithic architecture. Göbekli Tepe might be just the beginning. Despite 30-plus years of excavation, only a portion of Göbekli Tepe has been uncovered. Maybe 10 to 20% of the estimated structures are exposed. We don't know many things. What the carved symbols meant to the builders, whether there was any written or spoken language recorded, how often people gathered there, whether it was seasonal or continual, who exactly these builder groups were, and where they went afterward. Some theories, like astronomical alignment or calendar-like carvings, are debated among scholars. The mystery remains wide open. And that's what makes Göbekli Tepe so powerful for storytelling. Göbekli Tepe teaches us that we might have underestimated prehistoric humans. Nomads, yes, but also builders, artists, organizers, visionaries. It warns us not to judge civilizations by familiar markers like pottery or writing. Sometimes advanced culture doesn't look like what we expect. It shows that humanity's drive to build, to worship, to gather and cooperate is ancient and deep, not born out of agriculture, but born out of belief, ritual, and community. And maybe most importantly, it invites us to ask a bigger question. How many more wonders remain hidden under hills, deserts, and jungles? What other lost civilizations are waiting to be rediscovered? Because as long as there are places like Göbekli Tepe, history isn't finished. If you enjoyed this dive into Göbekli Tepe, the oldest known temple complex in human history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. There are other ancient mysteries coming up, and we might just find that history is far bigger than we ever thought. Leave a comment. What's the craziest theory you heard about Göbekli Tepe? Do you believe it was a temple, a gathering ground, or something else entirely? I'll see you in the next exploration.